Hey Aquarius, Dark Dove Tarot here. Hope you're doing fantastic. As you know, I pre-shuffle, but I'm going to add a little more energy before we get started. So again, this is for Aquarius, September 2019. This is love. It's usually pertaining to somebody you're thinking about, somebody you're not with, maybe somebody you're with but struggling with, reconciliation, etc. So I did say I would get a singles readout, and I've been trying to do them on Sundays, but because I had the monthlies, it's taking a little more time than I wanted. So anyways, here we go. This is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. General read, so keep that in mind, but hopefully it resonates with the majority of you. If it doesn't, please check your other signs to see if you can get more clarity. Sometimes you'll get a little more information, a better story, if you combine them all. So again, check your Sun, Moon, and Rising, as this is general for September 2019. Aquarius, I cannot believe it's already September. It's nuts. It's absolutely just mind-blowing right now. The older I get, the faster time goes by. All right. So, last month, I think it was all about putting work into it. If I remember correctly, Aquarius, your read was based on somebody, doing the work, putting the time in, possibly you or them or both. So let's see what September story has to say. Any likes, subscribes, comments, etc. greatly appreciated. If you want a private read, the information is in the description. I just repeat that because it is in the description. I get requests daily, which I'm totally grateful for, but just keep in mind it is below, and it would save us both some time if you check that out. It has all the information you need. And if for some reason I forget it, it will be in the video next to it. So, all right, let's see what's going on. Sorry, cards are falling all over the place for Aquarius for September 2019. A lot of themes this month, but the main one I'm noticing is like people just needing to stick up for themselves and people needing to work for it if they want it. I just feel like a lot of people are sliding by on hey, if I shoot you a text, I might get like some correspondence. And that's just not enough anymore. What happened to actually like face-to-face value? You know what I mean? All right, let's put your theme of the month, and we'll get started here for Aquarius. Okay. Let's see what the theme of the month is for Aquarius for September. Again, I hope you guys are doing amazing, and that wasn't hard. That came right out. All right, so abandonment, retreat, vacation. This doesn't have to be anything negative. It doesn't have to be leaving a situation. However, when I see this card come up, definitely tells me you're contemplating leaving, or they're contemplating leaving, or if you guys aren't talking, which I feel like a lot of you aren't, I feel like September is maybe when you guys go on hiatus. Like maybe this is when you actually take leave, because it feels like this sticks sometimes, okay? So when you guys separate, you don't actually separate like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's like, hey, how's it going? Kind of going along with that theme I was talking about that I've been seeing this month, where somebody pops in for, hey, polite, how are you? How are things going? But this makes me feel like some of you are going, no, I'm done with this for now. Now, it may not be permanent, but it definitely feels like you're saying, okay, I've had enough. And maybe it's, proving a point too, because I feel like maybe sometimes people think that they can just circle back in whenever they feel like it. And this is you going, no, you know what? Not this time. I think I'm a goner. Now, cross watchers, don't freak out. It may not be permanent, but I definitely think this is going to be more closed off, more of a retreat from this relationship than maybe you or they have ever taken. And maybe it's to get the seriousness across, get the point across. Now, this does represent travel as well, the Six of Swords, but I don't take it in that connotation right now. I don't feel like this is saying, hey, you're going on some really big vacation. Some of you maybe. It's not that you can't be, but based on this being love and, you and them type situation, I don't feel like that's you guys going together. All right, the first card you have is your current position coming into the month. You have the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is about charity. So just be careful here too, because I think this is where you get into the pattern, right? You say, oh, hey, you text me. Oh, great, we're getting back together. Or you text me, now I have all this love to give, which is bullshit, because they need to be doing more. There is a very succinct theme going on right now with all signs, it feels like. I'm not even kidding you. because it feels like people are putting in minimal effort expecting a big return. But people have been doing that over and over, and it's just not happening. The Six of Coins is about generosity. It's about contentness. And I feel like this is you being content, Aquarius, and yourself, and saying, if I were to take you back, it would be very generous of me. If I were to take you back, it would be almost a charitable effort. Because right now, I don't feel like they raise your vibration. I don't feel like you guys are good together necessarily. I think there's some toxicity here. Now, there's contentedness here, but I think it's a content in knowing that, hey, I may be going for a little longer than you think. Because normally that little charming text, or the hey, how you doing, or can I stop by, I just want to see you, used to work. And now you're saying, I think I need something a little bigger and better. The thing you're contemplating, I think, right now is, can you, if they do come in and try and charm you, or if they do come in and say, but I miss you, will you be able to take the road less traveled and say, this just isn't working for me right now, we may have to rethink this? Or is it going to be more of like a charity case, like, okay, I'll give you that coin again, let's see. I just feel like some of you are tired of that endless cycle. The next card you have is how you're feeling coming into the month. And you have the Sun card. The Sun card is clear-sighted. It's hope, it's faith, but it's also solutions. And so I feel like, I really, Aquarius, feel like you're coming into this position where you're saying, I know what I need, I know what I want. And if I were to get back with you, it would almost be charity, because you're not giving me what I need or what I want. And so I don't want to do this because I feel bad, or I don't want to do this because you charmed me, or you brought me flowers, or you said something nice. No, it's like I can see clearly now what I need out of a healthy relationship. And this type of energy isn't prevailing right now. And so I may need to go on a journey. I may need to leave for a little bit. I may need to disappear for a little bit, just to embark on finding myself again. And maybe you'll understand, it's that, you don't know what you've got until it's gone. Cliche as it is, I feel like because you've allowed them to return, or because you felt bad, or because you've been like, okay, let's try it again, but I do love this person, but it just hasn't been enough. And with the Sun, it's a clarity. The Sun is, gray skies have lifted, and you understand that, and you can see clearly now. Okay. The next card you have is your distant past. So over the past 5-10 years, could be throughout your childhood, and you have the Nine of Pentacles. Another sign got this as well. The Nine of Pentacles is the universe's way of saying, look, you've had abundance in the past, you've had happiness in the past, you've had success, and all sorts of things. This is like the generosity without the charitable feeling. This is the generosity without somebody having to say sorry. And Aquarius, that's what I feel like this comes down to, is somebody always comes back and apologizes to you and says, but I'm sorry I lied, or I'm sorry I wasn't, no. And you're like, no, that's not good enough anymore. Because if I take you back, it's under the precaution of, how many times do I have to keep giving you a coin to come back? But things aren't changing. And the Nine of Pentacles is saying, look, you can have what you want, but you need to change too. Because to be fair, and this goes with every sign and every person, we're all human, but you're just as much as responsible if you continue to take the same person back, right? It's the definition of insanity. We continue to do the same thing over and over, expecting a different outcome. We all do it. Every one of us is guilty of doing it. But I think you're embracing the fact now that you're like, no, I want this abundance and that generosity. I don't want to have to keep giving you a coin because you say sorry all the time. I want somebody who doesn't have to say sorry all the time. They're locked and loaded. We're good. Love is feeling good. And there's not this abundance of crap. There's not this abundance of, shit in, shit out. It keeps returning. No, there's more of an achievement, a success, a generosity, because I feel like being generous, not because we have this relationship that I'm used to and it's easier to stay than it is to go. The next card you have, why are you not cooperating, is your immediate past, so over the past 2 weeks, past month or two. And this makes sense, okay? This is the Eight of Swords, and if you see my read, I love this card because I always talk about putting her shirt on and going back inside. But the thing about this is, this person can go inside and walk out the front door. Instead, they're holding themselves to the swords. They're holding their feet to the fire. They're going, oh no, walk out the front door. Put a shirt on first, but walk out the front door. What are you doing? So Aquarius card says, look, You've been imprisoning yourself in this for a while. That may be why you're ready to set sail, because you've been imprisoning yourself. It's self-imprisonment, it's self-doubt. It's like I was saying, yes, we have responsibility, and no, it is not okay for somebody to treat you bad, and it is not okay for somebody to lie or cheat or do mean things to other people. That's not okay. But at the same time, what is that saying? First shame on you, second shame on me. If I continue that cycle and I continue to allow somebody to come in and out of my life who doesn't get better, and I'm consistently giving them that charitable coin, we're not going anywhere. So you're imprisoning yourself here. You know what you want. You know what abundance feels like. You know what a satisfactory feeling, you know what, and I'm not saying you've had all these satisfactory relationships. Hell, we wouldn't be here, right, if we all had this wonderful whimsical relationship. I mean, come on. Like, we're talking about love. It hurts, it's hard, relationships are hard, life is hard sometimes. But at the same time, we sometimes keep ourselves in a continuous repeating pattern. And I feel like that's what you've done, Aquarius. But the past few weeks, past month or two, you're starting to realize, like, okay, I could get up and put my shirt on and walk out the front door. Or I can dangle myself over those swords. That's not necessary. Easier said than done. I get it. And I know you guys are going to be like, oh, well, Dark Dove, it's easier. You know, we have kids together. We have a house together. And I get that. But I was telling another sign the other day that a friend of mine insulted me greatly a long time ago. Not a long time ago, but a while back, when she said to me, oh, the easy way out. And I said, why? And she said, you're going back to that relationship. And I said, excuse me? And she said, well, that's the easy way out. It's harder to be alone and worry about the what ifs and have to change your life. Tell your kids, hey, we're not going to be together. Or, sell a house or separate things. It's hard to do that. It's hard. But in the long run, will you be happier? Will it make you, or is it easier just to stick because that's the easy way out? It was insulting, but then I realized it made perfect freaking sense. The next card you have is your distant future, over the next few weeks, throughout the next few months, actually. And you have the Five of Pentacles. All right, so the Five of Pentacles, somebody's keeping a close eye, okay? Somebody is definitely, and I'm not saying somebody's stalking you, so don't get panicked or anything, but somebody's definitely watching your moves. I feel like it's because you may be taking this break and finally saying, hey, I'm done. Hey, I'm not interested in being on this crazy train right now, and so I'm going to hop off and see how things go for my mental health, for my stability, and there's going to be some sort of loss or destitution or poverty. Now, Aquarius, at first I would think, well, this is you feeling this way, but I kind of feel like it's them, because I feel like you might actually get serious and say, every time I feel like you come back, I'm giving you a coin. I'm pity partying you. I'm giving you charity, and I don't want to feel that way. So we're both going to feel lost. We're both going to feel a destitution. Now, unfortunately, I feel like they may feel it more than you, Aquarius. They may feel that destitution more than you, because you're actually doing it in a way that they have no other way to, there's no other concept then for them to take you seriously. And I think you know that, because I think it's been so many times of, okay, I'll take you back. Okay, I'll take you back. And now you're going, wait, not this time. Yes, you will feel sadness and grief, but I feel like it will hit them harder. They're going to be very curious as to what you're up to. They're almost thinking, no, he or she will return. And you're like, no, not right now, at least. Yeah, yep. See, absolutely. The next card you have is over the next few weeks throughout the month of September. And you have the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is loss, it's tragedy, it's endings. It can be a very hard card, but at the same time, it's necessary. Even though you may be putting yourself through these thorns, even though you may have landed on the swords, you may have landed on the swords because you kept yourself in this situation. This is going to hurt because you're going to more than likely say, no, it's not enough, or I'm going to have to go my separate ways. There's some sort of completion or some sort of ending. Now, I don't feel that this is necessarily 100% never getting back together. I feel like this is necessary for now. I feel like it's necessary for you to take yourself seriously and for them to take you serious. So I don't think they will take you serious until they understand you can live without them and you can be just fine without them. A lot of feelings down here feel like this is on their side, Aquarius. This is how they're going to feel. This feels like they're going to be like, oh my God, holy shit, he or she are like, I'll never get them back, which is going to send them into almost like a panic mode. And we don't necessarily want to play games, and you don't necessarily want to hurt them because you love them. But at the same time, like, you've dealt with enough. The sorries, the the one word text message to get back, the forgotten, birthdays or anniversaries or different things that go on when you guys are broken up. Just the letdowns are enough to say, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not trying to hurt you, but like, this isn't good enough anymore. Like, it's not sufficient for us, and I need an ending. Now, for some of you, it may be very serious. You may be done and never look back. You may have given out that coin one too many times and they break the bank. But for a lot of you, I feel like it's necessary for you to get grounded. But you may find that when you're grounded and you're out there, leaving and ending, you may not want this situation back. And then this is your tangible card throughout the month of September. Anything that may happen could be the beginning, middle, end. The release. Breathe with me here, Aquarius. The release. Here's your star. Numero uno, your card showing up in your read. And if you've seen my reads, you know that I think that means you're being the most organic of yourselves. You have to be true to yourself to cut this bullshit out. You may love them. It's not working right now. And they need to understand that they need to step it up. The star is inspiration. It's faith. It's hope. You're not giving up hope on this relationship necessarily. And some of you are going to be like, oh, dark dove, bullshit. I'll never get back together. I'll never talk to. Well, great. It's a general read. So check your other signs. Those may resonate more. But the star card showing up for me right now is so empowering, because this is saying, no, this is exactly what you need. You need you. You need you back. Where did you go, Aquarius? When did you start giving out coins for these little sorries? When did you, they keep saying in my head, like, I keep picturing somebody at their doorstep and somebody showing up with flowers, or not even that. Somebody's texting, hey, what are you up to? Or hey, after like 3 or 4 weeks of no contact or whatever. It's not good enough anymore. What happened? Why are you lost? No. End this before it takes over and just brings you to a plateau you don't want to reach. So now dig deep inside yourself and be the star. Shine. Be the best person you could be right now. Develop you. Start working on you. The next card you have is how you're feeling throughout the month. And you have the Two of Pentacles, which is about balance, about priorities, change. This is exactly what you need, Aquarius. You need change. You need balance. You need priorities. Your priorities come first. Not this anymore. Your priorities. I don't care how many times they text you and say, but I'm sorry, it won't happen again, but I know what I did was terrible. Well, you know that? Then step up your game. Pull your head out of your ass and let's go. But the problem is, right now, they're not going to do that. That's not happening. Like, you love them, and I'm not saying that it couldn't happen, because there's a very strong connection here. And I don't know that it's going to be as easy for you to let go of them if they do contact you as you say it is. But right now, I think you need to focus on your priorities, your balance. There's too much disruption in this right now. There's too much confusion, self-doubt. It just needs a proper ending before you can have a new beginning, if that's really what needs to happen. The next card you have are your hopes and fears for the month. And you have the Lovers. Okay, so your hope is, can we identify together? The Lovers is beautiful. This is about love. This is about, can we see eye to eye? The Lovers card is a dual card. It's a duality. It's two people coming together, but that's what you're missing here. There has been no duality. There has been no, like, you guys are two different people, but at the same time, it needs to be a we. And it hasn't been a we. And that's been a theme this month too. It's a me and you, or you and I, or whatever, instead of a we. Your hope is that we can come back together and become a we. And I love it. Because I know people are going to say, well, I don't want them back. But then I understand, this reading is about another person and reconciliation. If you don't want them back, then maybe move into a different section of, finding somebody new. But right now, the Lovers tells me you guys would be willing, like, this is somebody that you identify with. This is somebody who is a karmic connection, or somebody that you feel this deep emotional bond with. So you're not necessarily ready to 100% give it up, but you're not willing to lose yourself anymore. And somehow your balance and priorities have been out of check, and you want to be able to get it together with them, but they've got a lot of work to do on their end, Aquarius. All right, and now your outcome card is the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is a spark, a curiosity, a confidence. So I feel like there may be some sort of like return, and all of a sudden that song, Return of, is playing in my head. But there's some sort of, I think you're actually, if you do leave or if you have left and you've ended it and you've said, no, I'm not doing this anymore, I think they're going to have a hard time with that. And the Page of Wands says that they will be very curious as to what you're doing. They will be trying to communicate with you. Even if you guys haven't talked in months, moving on just for yourself, moving on and going about this as if the relationship has ended. Whoa. Going on as though the relationship has ended, will do wonders, because they will be thinking, you know, well, what is this person up to? Once you direct your energy into something else, your energy fades and they start to notice, like, oh, what are they up to? I'm, you know, they loved me and they were worried that I was with somebody else and whatever. And if you're not doing that, then they're not feeling that energy. And then they start to come back and start thinking about themselves and start thinking about what they should do to better themselves. Now you have the moon here, which is Pisces, which is exactly what I'm talking about. Defer your energy, Aquarius, to something else. You may be dealing with a Pisces. You also have Temperance, so you may be dealing with a Sagittarius. But the moon card is mysterious. You know, this is you doing you, getting your balance, your priorities, being the best Aquarius you can be, focusing on yourself. And the moon is saying, look, this mystery right here, that's what it is right now. They're on a need-to-know basis. And right now, guess what? They don't need to know. And perfect sums it up right here. The Magician. They legitimately don't need to know what you're up to. You're manifesting what you want in life. You're the Star card. You're one of the best cards in the deck. Manifest what you want. The Magician says, hey, I can be and do whatever I want. And if they're going to be a part of it, then they're going to have to work for it. The moon is saying, look, like, the moon is not knowing what's coming, but not really giving a shit. Saying, you know, I'll do what needs to be done. I'll take what needs to be done in my life. I'll take responsibility for my half and go from there. Interestingly enough, though, you have Sagittarius card, Temperance here, which is about patience, about moderation and balance. These two cards go swimmingly. I'm not saying, Aquarius, if they come back and say, but I love you, I love you, I love you, don't talk to them, ghost them, ignore them. It's hard. How do you ignore somebody you love? Come on. That's very hard. But at the same time, moderation, balance. This is not, they're not overwhelming your life anymore and sucking the life out of you. And I'm not saying this person, yeah, you know what? I am saying this person has done that before. And that's why you keep giving them the coin and it keeps happening all over. I'm not trying to be rude, but come on. Like, let's get real with ourselves. We know when we let somebody walk all over us and we continue to do it and to do it and do it. You have the Seven of Wands, and the Seven of Wands is saying, look, this is priorities in defense. You have priority cards all over the place and you showing up in your read, Aquarius. So now focus on you. If something doesn't work after that or something happens, guess what? You at least tried your best. You at least did what you thought was going to be the best solution for you. Right now, patience, patience, patience. Even if it sucks, even if you have to walk away, have this ending, retreat, 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 this will come back to you tenfold. I guarantee you with this Page of Wands. What the universe is giving you right now is the opportunity to decide if Aquarius wants it. And if it's deserving of Aquarius's time and attention. If this relationship is deserving, you will have the time. You need to take the time to understand that. Balance your priorities, figure this out, and be patient with it. If it takes you 6 months, it takes you 6 months. You take the time you need, because right now it's about taking care of you. All right, Aquarius, see you next month. Bye.